What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the 90. We've got a very special video for you today. Another one of these pre-recorded things, but let me know what you think of them in the comments down below. We've done ones for Samori, but now we're going on to Daka. Yes, you read the title correctly. Daka Deep Dive. I'm going into all the information there is available on him. How good is he? And trust me, you're going to want to stay tuned for this one because, wow, I'm so excited for the information I'm going to bring you. Anyway, if you're new here, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, all that good stuff. And anyway, let's get into the video. One last thing before we continue, make sure to check out RS Graphics. He did that thumbnail, phenomenal thumbnail. I really recommend that you check out his stuff. He did our end of year awards as well. Fantastic. Anyway, link in the description, the top one. Make sure you check him out, follow him, show him some love. Beyond that, let's get into the intro. So what is the information we know so far? So you've all probably seen it by now. The man himself, Fabrizio Romano, confirming that the Daka deal is done. So June 2026, a 5-year deal, and fantastic work. Paperwork of the contract signed. What else do we know? Well, we know the fact that it's going to be around 18 to 23 million pounds or some kind of payout around that amount of money. Different sources, different things. Rob Tanner says 23 million. I've seen other sources that say 18 million. I think Romano said about 18 million as well. So it's around that figure. But again, for what we're getting and for some of the stuff that's going to come up later on, phenomenal value for money. Also, one thing as well, he's 22 years old, 6'1". We'll get into some of the statistics about him later on. And let's just get into the other bits. So let's get straight into some statistics. I mean, you've probably seen this one. 28 games, 27 goals, and 7 assists. Unbelievable. 25 international caps and 7 goals. We'll come on to a little bit about Zambia, and they've not qualified for the African Cup of Nations. But over the 2-year period, one thing that has not been mentioned as much, 56 appearances, 56 goals in 64 appearances. These numbers are insane. This is a man that's only going up in the world, and for me, it's absolutely brilliant. And we'll get on to some of the statistics that are coming up right now. So as you can see from the following graph, look at Daka up there in the top corner, pretty much the best shot conversion. And this was from financial analysis. So make sure I'll leave a link in the description to all these results and resources as well. Shots per 90 from conversion rate. We can see that Jamie Vardy is here. Didn't have the best of conversions last season, however, is still very clinical. We're looking at the likes of Daka. Unbelievable, literally in a section of his own with everybody else. You look at the likes of, look at these world-class players, Lewandowski, Mbappe, Sergio Aguero, that the conversion rates aren't as high. Imagine with the training he could get. I mean, this graph is absolutely insane. And you're looking at, again, normal strikers around here. Jamie Vardy's up here. And we know that he can convert, but Patson Daka is literally, from this graph alone, in a league of his own. So from this heat map, you can see the amount of ground he covers. And again, one of the things that he's going to be used is electrifying pace. And if you look at this, this is a heat map of where he plays. And he's been likened to the likes of Jamie Vardy. If we look at Jamie Vardy's heat map, again, this link will be in the description down below. Very similar. This is Jamie Vardy's, and it's fantastic to see, and the touches he gets and the goals. And we know that Jamie Vardy is still going to be a great player and is going to mentor him. But these two heat map, if compared side to side, look very similar. And that can only be a good thing. I mean, Jamie Vardy's going to be firing next season. Having him, Nacho, and Daka now in that 3, it's going to look fantastic. Another statistic to pick up as well, look at this. Pace 93, this is from FIFA. Again, link in the description for this one as well. Pace 93, dribbling 76. Phenomenal statistics and rating of 79. I mean, the guy's only 22 years old and he's a pace merchant as well as physical. We'll get on to some of that later. But from some of the statistics that we're looking at already for the attacking and the skills and his movement, again, this is some of the areas that we're going to look at. Movement, sprint speed, agility up there as well. Finishing, which is obviously something that Jamie Vardy is very good at. Fantastic. So again, you're looking at this little kind of heat map, fantastic in my opinion for his shots and his pace. We know what we're going to get to. Anyway, we'll go a little bit more into detail in what kind of player we're going to get. So what are his strengths? This is the question that we're all asking at the moment. We've all seen the highlight reels. We've all seen his goal compilations, and there's a lot of room, but at the same time, how would he work? So again, links to everything down below for all the resources, but also 3 sources that I'm using. Nick Cavell from BBC Africa, Rob Tanner from The Athletic, and C Fabrizio Romano. So for these three, this is where you'll see all the statistics and all what kind of player we've put together. So from listening to these three people, I can tell you specifically what kind of player he is. So two main attributes, as we've seen before: pacey and shooting. He's an all-round player. At 6'1", he's got a lean physique, and it means that he can pretty much is an all-round striker. Jamie Vardy is probably the best example of him, player for player. Pacey, can finish fantastically. He's good in the air and he's better at hold-up play. He's scored lots of header goals as well. So there's plenty of opportunity and plenty of growth at 22 years old as well. And from what I've heard from different reporters. So as I was talking about earlier, his hold-up play, he loves to set up goals for other people. When you've got the likes of Jamie Vardy, who's running in behind, you've got Harvey Barnes that's coming on one side. You've got the likes of Kelechi Iheanacho on the form that he's in at the moment, coming off the other. That could be vital, as well as him sprinting into the box and scoring himself. Personally, I'm absolutely excited for this one to happen. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is formations. What formation can he play? How can he fit into the Leicester squad with the players that we've got, or just about rumored to got, because I'm including Samoria in this one? What formations can he play and how will he help Leicester City? Let's get straight into it. So the first formation I have is kind of a 4-4-2 / as you can see from the top right, a 4-2-2-2. So him alongside Vardy could be absolutely lethal next season. I can see them two playing really well together. Then kind of out wide, but I'd play as kind of in front of these players, Perez and Maddison, both as these cam positions, just feeding the balls. Then you've got Ndidi and Tielemans. We know what they can do. Phenomenal duo, and one of the best. I think we voted them as the best duo in the Premier League. They're behind that, Evans and Fofana and Pereira and Castagna, providing that width. And obviously when Justin is fit, he'll probably slot into that left-back position as well. So we're looking at this and we're going, right, this is a formation that we can get the best out of Daka. We've got players in feeding him. We're going to have wing-backs essentially that are going to feed him as well. And then Jamie Vardy, either one of the two, you can either mark one of them out of the game because this is looking sensational. So the 4-2-2-2 is potentially a formation we can play. Another formation that I think could be quite likely is a 4-3-3. So we can see from here, we've got Vardy through the middle, Daka to the right, and Harvey Barnes to the left as kind of a front three. Again, Daka and Vardy could change at times. So you're playing Daka through the middle and Vardy to the right. But again, Vardy tends to play, especially from last season, towards the left-hand side. So this will give you the width, it'll give you the strength, and these three can play off each other, all three with beautiful pace and fantastic finishing. Then we go to the back three, like a midfield three of Ndidi through the middle, Tielemans giving it that service into these front three, and Samore doing that same work. A lot of the physicality, breaking up the play, charging forward and dribbling with the ball, then giving it onto one of these players. This is a formation I could really see next season as well. Again, Castagna, Justin, but the same kind of back four, Evans, Fofana, Pereira, Castagna. Bearing in mind, I'm not including Soyuncu, not because he's not a good player, just because this is the different formation we can play. Bearing in mind, we'll get onto three at the back in just a second, but Fofana was there. You can still got Maddison, Perez, Albrighton can still do a job as well. So this is just, we're creating a team, and with Daka in the lineup, we can definitely create something fantastic. So I've gone for another 4-3-3, but a little bit of a change this time. We're playing Daka through the middle, Iheanacho to the right, and Barnes to the left. Again, this is something we could experiment with as well. I'm feeling like Daka and Iheanacho could play a duo perfectly together. And again, it shows we've got strength and depth this season with the players we're holding on to. Iheanacho then could run into the box, or Daka could do the hold-up play, or vice versa. We've seen Nacho have a few assists this season. Then Barnes on the outside. The question is, who do you mark out of the team? But yes, with Jamie Vardy out of the side because of injury, or because, let's face it, he is getting on a little bit, this could be a fantastic formation as well. 4-3-3, but instead of Jamie Vardy, you've got Daka in the middle, then Iheanacho to the right. So what other formations could we play? We've saw 4 at the back, but let's try 3 at the back. So we're saying, for example, Evans, Soyuncu, Fofana as a back 3. Then you've got Justin, Ndidi, Tielemans, and Pereira as your as your wing backs and your 2 in midfield, and we know how good these 2 are. Then up front, we've gone for Barnes once again, Daka, and then we're playing Maddison as kind of that cutting inside role that can feed Daka as well. I think this could be a fantastic formation that we could play, especially when the teams are attacking. You're coming up to a formation like a Thomas Tuchel next year, we could go with something like this. Again, we've got no one out-and-out striker, but you've got the Maddison can either play a cam role, or he can play that right wing inverted winger where he can cut inside, and then you can play Barnes as that similar. He can either track back with Justin or feed in crosses and sprint into the box while Justin's coming on this right-hand side. I think this formation could work perfectly for Leicester City as well. What about if we want to change it up? Go for something a little bit different. Not 3-4-3, but kind of a 3-5-2. This way you're pushing Maddison into this cam role, Tielemans and Ndidi either side, Castagna and Pereira, and then you've got Daka and Vardy up front, potentially play Iheanacho, similar to what we ended with last year in kind of this formation, with 3 at the back. Then you've got Vardy and Daka causing absolute chaos up there together. Similar kind of thing to a 4-2-2-2, but slightly different in terms of the 3 at the back and the 4 at the back. One thing I want to point out just after the formations is that, remember a player that we've changed and transformed into. So Daka standing at 6'1", he is a lean build. One player that I want to bring it back to, who something that's not been mentioned as much, Harvey Barnes, and he's been in a lot of the formation. Here's why. We've seen he can score goals. He can run in from deep and people don't pick him up. But also, he was told a couple of seasons ago, you need to bulk up. He was getting pushed off the ball too easy. He was not as big and aggressive as probably we wanted to. And Brendan Rodgers knew there was a player within him. Before the injury, he was absolutely on fire. But part of the reason is because of Brendan Rodgers' training. He said you need to build up. The Premier League is more physical. You'll have to get used to this league a little bit more. And Harvey Barnes took his game to the next level. Now, if Daka's performing at this level, again, it is in the Austrian league, how well can he perform for us? I mean, Brendan Rodgers is the perfect coach for him, but I'm bringing it back to the Harvey Barnes situation. We've seen how we can develop a player and take him on to the next level. So I'm really looking forward to that. But don't be surprised if Daka bulks up a little bit more than he currently does. So what did you guys think of this kind of video? Let me know in the comments down below. Hello to all the Zambian fans out here. We'd love to have you over on our channel and support Daka, as you've pretty much confirmed at this point. Again, links to everything, all the things I've used down in the description down below. And one final thing to finish on, because this one I didn't expect. So if you've been looking on Twitter, somebody has been replying to a lot of tweets, and that man is Daka. And of recent... Oh, he's just gone and replied to Alex. Yes, so we are on our Patson Daka account. I can't pronounce his name. Patson Daka. If you've ever been to Canada, we've all been waiting your invite, mate. So again, super grateful that he's responding to some of us, even though it's not on my behalf. Well done, Alex, for reaching in out, and welcome, Daka. Thank you to everybody for watching and subscribing. Thank you. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. It really means a lot to us. What do you think of these kind of videos? I mean, this took about 5 hours to put together in terms of all the research and things are put together. But let me know what you think in the comments down below of this style. Welcome, Daka. Thank you so much. We'll see everybody in the next video. So goodbye.